And we, of course, are starting to hear from some witnesses who were there on the scene. We just saw from our WABC station a woman who said she was taking her daughter to school at the time when suddenly she heard what sounded to her like an explosion. Now, we do want to clarify, sometimes when civilians report hearing an explosion, they are actually hearing gunshots, but those of us who are not used to hearing gunshots can sometimes confuse the two. But regardless, this woman reported hearing a loud bang. She said she saw people running, people injured, and people running out of two different subway stations, both claiming that they were hard to see. Police say that this gunman who opened fire around 8:30 in the morning on or in the subway station and potentially on the train as well is thought to have used smoke devices as well. So we are, of course, learning more as the situation unfolds and as police continue to search for that gunman. And we do now have an eyewitness to the shooting. Konrad Aderer joins me live now on the phone. Konrad, I'm glad to hear that you're okay. Can you tell us what you saw?
Yeah, well, I was just on the stairway just below the street, and over to my right I saw a young man standing in front of the station agent booth, and he was bleeding from the legs, and he seemed otherwise like, he could talk well and everything. He was just very distraught, and he was just alerting people to what happened. He was just saying that there's a lot of people injured and people bleeding, and that's essentially what he was doing. He was just there reporting what happened.
And were you coming into the subway station at this point?
Yes, I was just waiting to make a text, while I could, just below the street, and so otherwise I probably would have been, in the station or heading down there. This was just about 8:30 in the morning.
Konrad, how busy was it when you got down, as far as you could see? I mean, we know with the pandemic, travel slowed down slightly, but it has been rising again. Was this a packed New York City subway station?
Yeah, well, it wasn't where I was. It wasn't packed. At the platform level, typically there would be, a lot of people. Yeah, but it was, probably not maybe what it was before the pandemic, but it's the level of rush hour that I'm used to at this point.
So what was your reaction when you finished sending a text that you were trying to get off before you got on the train, and you come down into the station, and all of a sudden you see this man by the subway booth bleeding from the legs, warning that a bunch of people are injured?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of hit me out of the blue. It was kind of shocking, of course, but I wanted to know more. I really wanted to know what happened, but I just figured, I can't do much good here, and I'll just be in the way and maybe at risk myself. And so the best thing for me to do is just to leave immediately, And I saw the police and the emergency vehicles already flooding in just as I was walking up to the street.
Were you fearful for your life at that point, Konrad?
Well, I was only fearful to the extent that, I wanted to go and investigate. I wanted to see what's happening, and this is horrible. And I was concerned for the young guy, but of course, I figured he was getting help from people who were professional. But I just, my brain got the better of my curiosity, and I just thought, I should just leave and let the people who are here to handle it.
Police are urging people to stay away from the area, so it sounds like the instinct for you to leave, despite your curiosity, was the right one, particularly for your safety. And now that we know that this gunman is still on the loose, what else can you tell us about what you saw on the scene? We're hearing reports that this gunman may have used smoke devices. Did you notice any smoke in the air and people complaining of either having a hard time seeing or any other indications?
Yeah, I wish I had something that was useful. It just looked very ordinary, except for this young man who was bleeding. Who had just rushed up. Mind you, he had to come up from the platform apparently to report this. So even though he was injured, he apparently felt like he better alert people as soon as possible. So that's what he did.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.